Welcome to The Explainer. We talk a lot about how AI finds information, right? But how does it actually use that information to write something that makes sense? Today, we're going to break down that exact moment of creation. Okay, so picture this. The AI has done its job. It's found the perfect documents to answer your question. Awesome. But now what? You've just got this, digital pile of pages. The real magic, the part we're interested in, is what happens next. How does it go from that raw information to a clean, useful answer? This is all part of a process you might have heard of called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. Now, RAG has a few steps. There's indexing, which is organizing the data, retrieval, which is finding the right stuff, and then the part we're diving into today, generation. And yep, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's where the AI actually sits down and writes the answer. So, to really get a handle on this generation step, let's try an analogy. I want you to think of the AI as a brilliant, world-class chef. I mean, this chef is incredible. They can cook anything. But here's the catch. They can't read your mind. You have to give them the ingredients and a super clear recipe for whatever it is you want them to make.
And that right there, that's the core challenge of AI generation. We take those documents we found, those are our ingredients, and we have to, stuff them into the AI's context window. Then, right alongside them, we give it our recipe, a really clear set of instructions that tells the AI exactly what to do with all that stuff.
In the AI world, this recipe has a name. It's called a prompt template. Just think of it like a recipe card you'd write out. It's mostly pre-written, but it has these blank spots, these placeholders for our specific ingredients. That's the context. And for the dish we want, that's our question. See how that maps? It's pretty direct. The context? That's just our ingredients, the documents. The question? That's the dish we asked for. It's a really simple way to think about it, but honestly, it's super powerful for understanding what's going on under the hood. So here's what one of these prompt templates actually looks like. It's really just a block of text. But look at those placeholders in the curly brackets. You see context and question? Those are the blank spots on our recipe card. That's exactly where we're going to slot in our documents and the question we're asking. Okay, so how do we actually fill this thing out? Let's start by walking through the manual way, like we're doing it by hand.
This manual process is basically 4 steps. First, you write out the recipe card, that's our prompt template. Second, you gather your ingredients, the docs and the question. Third, you fill out the card. And finally, step 4, you hand it over to the chef. You pass it to the AI model.
Now, if you're thinking about this from a coding standpoint, that third step, filling out the card, is basically just building a simple little data structure. Think of it like a dictionary. You've got 2 labels, or keys, context and question. You just stick your documents under the context label and your query under the question label. That's it. This little bundle of information is all packed up and ready to go to the AI. And there you have it. Once we hand that manually built prompt over to the model, it just follows our instructions. It reads the context we gave it, it looks at our question, and it creates a brand new answer based only on the ingredients we provided. The chef has served the dish.
So that's the manual way. It's really good for kind of seeing how all the pieces fit together.
But you can probably see the problem here. Doing that by hand for every single question, that's just not going to work for a real-world app. Which leads to the obvious question. What if we could just automate this whole thing? And the answer is, of course we can. The automated version is kind of like upgrading from a recipe card to a super smart app for our AI kitchen. An app that doesn't just hold the recipe, but it goes to the pantry and gets the ingredients for you. This smart app, that's what we call a RAG chain. It's basically one tool that connects everything together. You give it your question, and it automatically finds the right documents, fills out the prompt template, it does the whole thing in one smooth, seamless step. And really, that's the game changer here. When you use an automated RAG chain, your job becomes incredibly simple. All you have to do is provide one thing, just the question.
All right, so let's put these 2 methods right next to each other. The manual prep versus the fully automated Pro Kitchen.
Okay, look at this. The main difference really comes down to who's doing the work. In the manual method, you are the one finding and plugging in the documents. It's awesome for learning how it works. But with the automated RAG chain, the system does all that heavy lifting for you. It's a single, pre-built thing that's designed to help you build real applications and fast. And that's really the crucial takeaway here.
Doing it by hand is fantastic for building your intuition, but automation, that's what makes the whole process repeatable, reliable, and efficient enough to build actual working applications.
So, okay, our system works. It's a nice, effective pipeline. But what happens if the ingredients are bad? What if the documents it finds are just wrong or totally irrelevant? Or what if our recipe, our prompt, is just flawed? This simple system is a great start, but it has its limits. And figuring out how to deal with those problems, well, that's the next big, fascinating challenge.